For the first time, you're about to see what it's like to be at home with the Cayuga County baby boy who's been the focus of so many of your prayers and many news stories here on CBS5. Easton Friedel is now 5 months old and he's in a battle for life. He was born with an incredibly rare skin disease. Nearly his entire body is blistered. Last week, I was invited into the family home in Weedsport for a look at the worst disease you've never heard of. On the day we spent with baby Easton, he was battling a cold. Another complication for a 5-month-old little guy whose life is already plenty complicated. His mother Danielle and father Jared are his primary caregivers, and there is so much care to give. Epidermolysis bullosa is the diagnosis, and it came out of nowhere. Danielle's pregnancy was normal straight through delivery.
And I just saw the look on his face, and then I saw the look on the midwife's face, and my husband said, "What's wrong with him?" And, you know, the midwife said, "It just looks like," what did she say? "It just looks like some of the skin didn't form, or some of the muscle," I forget which, you know, it was just all a blur. And then they kind of took him away. They were very good with him. No one knew what it was, what was wrong with him, but they were very good, very gentle. I got to hold him, and honestly, I didn't even want to hold him because I was so scared. I didn't know. I was terrified.
As the hospital staff tended to Easton, Jared grabbed his phone and typed "missing skin at birth" into a Google search.
Yeah, and before he looked it up on the internet, I just thought, well, okay, it's something he's going to get a skin graft and he's going to be fine. And he looked it up on the internet, and that's when you see all the terrifying things. And he said a lot of these kids die before they're 1. And it just tells you all the scary things about it. So it was just, it was a rough time.
Now every waking moment is spent tending to Easton's blistered skin.
The red number is his oxygen, and
the living room of their Weedsport home is the central location for medical monitoring equipment to keep track of his oxygen levels, the tubes that feed him, and deliver the constant drip of powerful pain meds.
He gets medication before we do all this.
This 5-month-old gets anxiety medicine before he gets a bath, because as you will see, even the most mundane task can be traumatic for Easton.
Don't get nervous. He passed out 3 times the other day. She was here. He'll turn blue. He will wake up. He's good. He just gets mad.
Okay.
Doctor said it was okay too, so it's not just me. I'll be fine. But we'll wake him up before we try to move him.
The bath is the first step in a full bandage changing, which happens every 2 days.
You know, he has drainage.
Back in the living room, I've noticed one more of the many cruel symptoms of Easton's condition. A smell, not overpowering, but noticeable because of his draining blisters and dead skin. He's bandaged on both arms and legs, and anyone who has seen a baby's tiny and precious little hands and feet is stunned by how Easton's look.
They actually look much better because see how this is on. To an outsider,
they look alarming.
Yeah, you see how this on the end? The whole finger used to be like that.
Okay.
And this on the end right now, the only reason it's still like that is because the fingernail is in the dead skin. So it's much harder to get off. You can't just peel it off because it's a lot, you know, it's a lot harder. Oh, but they look much better. They used to be very hard.
Deformed hands and feet are common for EB children. Their bodies spend so much time fighting infection, they actually forget to do other important things, like grow.
So I'll lift him and Jared will get his back. Oh, and we leave his leg dressings on because he will kick his legs together in the bath and take his skin off. Mommy does not have you in the right position. Dear. See, here we go. No, no blue baby. No blue baby. Not in the back. No blue baby. No blue baby. There you go.
Bathing Easton took nearly a half hour. Changing his bandages took even longer than that. My report continues at 6 o'clock when you'll see what it takes for Easton's parents to carefully examine his fragile skin, and we'll learn more about his prognosis. Meantime, we asked Easton's parents where those who are moved to donate to an EB cause should give. We have two charities posted in the Baby Easton story right now at cnycentral.com. Tonight, we are taking you inside the home of a Cayuga County family dealing with the worst disease you've never heard of. Baby Easton Friedel has EB, a rare genetic skin disease which keeps him on constant pain medication and forces his parents to constantly give him care. Earlier on CBS5 News at 5, we brought you my first report, including how Easton's mother first learned there was something wrong with her baby. You can watch that story. It's posted right now at cnycentral.com. And now it's time for the slow process of giving Easton a bath and changing the bandages that protect his fragile skin.
No, no blue baby. No blue baby.
Some moms sing songs to their children in the bathtub. Danielle Friedel tries to keep hers from passing out. Baby Easton hates the tub so much, hates being moved so much, that his tantrums cause him to hold his breath and sometimes turn blue and pass out. As we sat near the bathtub, she told me she can count on one hand the number of times she's really held him.
He hates it. And he doesn't settle down, and he thrashes all over the place. And that's even worse for him because he's causing damage to himself. You know, if he was a typical baby, you would just say, well, you're going to deal with it, you'll learn to like it. With him, he's giving himself blisters, he's taking skin off, he's, you know, you can't say just deal with it because he's just causing trauma to his skin.
So you, as a mom, give up on one of the most precious and
you just have
intimate things, holding a baby.
With him laying on the floor, one day he fell asleep, and I laid down next to him and fell asleep, and that's just kind of the closest you can get sometimes. You just have to do what you can do.
With no cure for Easton's condition, the only treatment is constant wound care and bandaging. While there is hope his skin will get better, there is no guarantee. Special solution in the bath eliminates the bad bacteria that builds up in and around his blisters, but leaves the good kind on him.
And this is where he doesn't like it. I know, sweetie. I know. Oh, and you pooped. Fantastic! Get that view in there. Oops, actually, I'm gonna lift him with that side down so it's not on his skin. Can you lay that so it's gonna be underneath him? Sure. Under your poop?
Cutting his bandages.
The changing area is steps away. Before the bath, small strips of special bandages were cut to fit his tiny arms and legs. The prep work alone took nearly 1 hour.
What do you think? You have to clean your little bottom.
Together, Danielle and Jared Friedel work like a gentle and loving NASCAR pit crew.
We've come to know like what spots and like how hard, and at first it's like we didn't want to touch him and we didn't want to rub or anything.
There are blisters that must be drained with a tiny needle. For an outsider, this is hard to watch.
You're doing good.
Areas of dead skin that need to be cut off, otherwise they'd harbor bacteria that could be life-threatening. In the EB community, Easton is called a butterfly child, with skin as fragile as a butterfly's wing.
He is on pain medication every 8 hours. It stays in his system constantly. So he's always on pain medication. If he
so without that, he would be
probably
in pain
yes.
all the time.
I would think so.
This dressing change routine happens every other day. It always ends with some soothing oil on his blistered chest. It is all exhausting to watch and certainly to carry out. But there are bright spots that come out of nowhere, and Easton's mother is all about appreciating them.
Look at. I've never held him like this.
No?
Never.
As we left the changing room, we noticed this on the wall, a quote from Winnie the Pooh. "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." Danielle says it applies to Easton. We think it sums her up.
It's not his fault that he has this. It's not anyone's fault that he has this. So me being down about it or, you know, negative about anything isn't going to help the situation, isn't going to help me, it isn't going to help him. It's not going to help the other kids to deal with it. So it's just, you have to be, your outlook has to be positive or it's not going to help anything.
After the changing of the bandages, Easton's physical therapist arrived for work on getting him to hold his head up on his own. My report continues tonight at 11 o'clock when you'll meet the rest of the family. Easton has 3 older brothers, and you'll see what a challenge it is for his parents to make sure they get the attention they need. And as so many people reach out to the family on the Baby Easton Facebook page, you will see that that has become a great comfort to his family. His parents have plenty to say about the outpouring of community support, a lot of it online tonight at 11. Meantime, we asked Easton's parents where those who are moved to donate to an EB cause should give their money. We have 2 charities posted in the Baby Easton story at cnycentral.com. Baby Easton Friedel has a rare inherited skin disease called EB. And recently, his family invited me to spend the day at their home in Weedsport. Earlier on CBS5 News at 5 and 6, we aired the first 2 reports on Easton. We learned about his rare condition, how there is no cure, only constant attention to his raw skin. You can watch the first 2 parts at cnycentral.com right now. And now we bring you the conclusion of At Home with Baby Easton.
Mommy does not have you in the right position.
At this point, it has been nearly 2 hours of torture. A bath and bandage changes. Now it's time for physical therapy.
No, baby.
And 5-month-old Easton Friedel wants none of it. He needs to work on holding his head up on his own. Babies his age should be able to. And this session is a brief break for his mother, Danielle, who could certainly use one.
But I forget to eat. He had an appointment on Tuesday, and my aunt went with me. It's afternoon. We're on our way home. It was like 4:30. I'm like, I'm really hungry. Like, I don't think I ate today. And she's like, what? I'm like, no. I'm thinking back. I'm like, no, I didn't eat today. I'm gonna have to eat dinner. Well, we get all the dead skin off first as much as we can.
Caring for Easton is consuming in a way few parents could ever understand. The one tiny mistake on the gene that created his skin gave him epidermolysis bullosa, EB for short. Skin so fragile, they say it's like the wings of a butterfly.
I feel like he is a strong person. Looking at what I have to go through and what we have to go through, going through a dressing change and going through every day, I'm like, oh, this is so much. It's so much. It's so draining. But look what he has to go through every day.
You're so big and you're looking around.
The prognosis is a mystery. No doctor can say for sure if his skin will ever get better. However, we did learn that some of the best medicine comes from the attention of older brothers.
Where's Logan? Here, lean up a little bit.
So this is
7-year-old Logan, 5-year-old Carter, and Blake, who is 3.
I had a cold one.
He's the kisser.
Easton's parents wanted to try for a girl.
And when
That's how Easton came to be.
How was school?
Now every day it's a tricky balancing act for a mother whose youngest requires so much attention, and older children who demand a piece of her too.
Honey, I need my phone in a minute to call the doctor. Honey,
Lots of 3s.
I'll look at it in just a second.
Can I look at it? Wait,
Let me look at it.
For every 50,000 babies born, there is one like Easton. Simply not enough to command big money for major research to find a cure. So his parents find comfort on the internet, reaching out to others in the same boat, and feeling the love who keep up on how Easton is doing on the Support Baby Easton Friedel Facebook page, which is loaded with pictures that chronicle his first 5 months, and where any update can be met with hundreds, sometimes thousands of likes and many, many comments, most of them prayers.
It's so overwhelming, and it's just so amazing. And I was actually asked by another mother that her son has EB, and she's like, well, what do I do? I mean, how did you get so many people to follow Easton? And I said, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. I said, I don't know. I don't know how he captured so many hearts. I don't know how so many people came about to follow him, you know. But I'm glad that it brought so much awareness to EB, because I never knew what it was.
On Valentine's Day, Easton will be back in Cincinnati at one of the only EB centers in the country. He'll see a host of doctors who can't offer a cure, only hope.
My hopes are that he will, developmentally, he'll get stronger, his skin will get better, that he won't have to deal with this as bad as it is right now. You know, I don't want him to, I'm worried about he has breathing issues and a lot of things that kids with EB don't have. So I think it's things other than EB also that he's facing. So I'm just hoping he can overcome those.
Developmentally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So down the road, I just want him to get stronger. I know he's a very strong little boy. He's fought a lot of things that a lot of kids haven't made it through.
His parents named him Easton because Danielle liked it as she flipped through a baby name book. And Dad Jared is a huge baseball fan. He loved that name because Easton is the name of a popular baseball equipment manufacturing company. The family heads to Cincinnati Children's Hospital next month, and I promise to keep you posted from time to time about how Easton is doing. Meantime, we asked Easton's parents where those who are moved to donate to an EB cause should give their money. We have 2 charities posted in the Baby Easton story right now at cnycentral.com. Tonight they are